All right, everybody, get ready, because today we're going deep on someone who was like a Viking princess, big UT, also a Christian saint.
Really?
Yeah. We're talking Olga of Kyiv
Oh, wow.
from 10th century Kyivan Rus.
Okay.
And if you don't know, Kyivan Rus was this huge kingdom that basically like shaped the history of like Eastern Europe and Russia.
Wow.
It's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
So get this. Our main sources for today are like her Wikipedia page and this YouTube video I found called Olga of Kyiv, History's Most Badass Saint.
Oh, wow. That's
You know, right?
that's quite a title.
Totally.
Yeah.
So we're going to like dig into all this stuff and figure out like what made Olga so awesome and why people are still talking about her like 1,000 years later.
Right.
It's crazy.
Well, even just starting with her birth date.
Yeah.
That's a mystery.
What do you mean?
Like, sources put it anywhere from 890 to 925 AD.
Whoa. So, like, she could have been born in the 800s.
Exactly.
Right.
That's so long ago.
It's mind-blowing to think about. It really is.
All the history that's happened since then.
Oh, and speaking of mysteries.
Yes.
Did you know there's a chance she was, like, part Viking?
Yes, there is a chance of that.
Whoa.
The sources kind of hint that she may have been of Varangian descent.
Varangian.
Which basically means Viking.
Oh, so like a Viking princess?
Yeah.
Ruling over this, like, Slavic territory?
Right.
That is a wild...
It's a serious cultural mashup.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did she even end up in charge?
So she was married to Prince Igor of Kyiv.
Okay.
And they had a son, Sviatoslav.
Oh, yeah.
But this is where things get a little dramatic.
Oh.
Igor was killed by a tribe called the Drevlians.
Okay.
And they were supposed to pay tribute to Kyivan Rus's...
What's tribute? Sorry.
Yeah, good point.
I don't know all the lingo.
Yeah, so basically tribute was like a payment, often in like goods or money that one group would pay to another as like a sign of submission or for protection.
Right, gotcha.
So the Drevlians stopped paying up, and Igor went to try to persuade them to restart those payments.
Okay.
But the persuasion didn't quite go as planned.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
This is where it gets...
badass.
Yeah.
The Primary Chronicle, which is like a historical account from that time, describes Igor's death.
Yeah.
Pretty gruesomely.
What happened?
The Drevlians literally tied him to 2 trees and tore him in half.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
That's awful.
It's brutal.
So what happened? Did they take over?
Not quite.
Okay.
So with Igor gone and their son Sviatoslav too young to rule, Olga stepped up.
Okay.
She became the first woman to rule Kyivan Rus.
That's amazing.
It is.
Okay.
But the Drevlians thought they could like take advantage of the situation, so they sent these ambassadors to Olga and proposed that she marry their prince.
They thought they could just like marry their way into the kingdom.
Pretty much they underestimated her.
What did she do?
So Olga decided to play the long game.
Okay.
She pretended to be interested. She received them with, like, respect.
Okay.
And they arrived in their boat because they had asked to be carried in on their boat.
Okay.
And she had them carried straight into a pre-dug trench.
Wait.
And buried alive.
She buried them alive?
Buried them alive.
Oh, my God.
And the Primary Chronicle even says that she, like, leaned down and was like, are you enjoying your honor?
That's savage.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with Olga of Kyiv?
I was going to say.
Don't cross her.
Do not cross this woman.
And that was just the beginning.
Oh, no.
Of her revenge.
There's more.
Oh, yeah. A second group of ambassadors came, and Olga invited them to a bathhouse.
Like a sauna.
Yeah, like a sauna.
Okay.
Before meeting with her, they went inside. She locked the doors and set the bathhouse on fire.
She's like a straight up.
Like Game of Thrones. Yeah. It's brutal.
Wow. Okay, so did she stop there? Nope. Oh, my God.
So the Drevlians, still not getting the message, sent a third message offering all this mead.
Look, mead.
Mead is like a honey wine.
Okay.
So they offered this huge amount of mead for a grand funeral feast for Igor.
Oh, so they were like, yeah, they were trying to
make amends.
Yeah, like, let's have a big party.
Right.
Olga was like, okay, sounds good.
Oh, boy.
She traveled to the Drevlian lands with a small group.
I bet she had a plan.
Oh, she had a plan.
I knew it.
So she goes there, and she's weeping and mourning at Igor's grave.
Okay.
But at the same time, she's encouraging everyone to, like, drink.
Get
wasted.
Yeah.
And once they were all completely wasted, she ordered her men to attack.
No way.
And they killed over 5,000 Drevlians.
5,000!
Yeah.
That's insane.
She's a badass. I'm starting to see why they call her that.
Yeah.
That's intense.
But it doesn't stop there.
Oh my God, there's more.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
She goes back to Kiev, raises an army, marches back to Drevlian territory, and lays siege to their capital city, Iskor.
Okay.
That siege lasted like a year.
Oh, wow.
But Olga, being the clever woman she is,
Yeah.
came up with a plan that's almost unbelievable.
What did she do?
She sent a message to the Drevlians,
Okay.
who are like starving at this point because they're under siege.
Right.
And she asked for a small tribute,
What was it?
3 pigeons and 3 sparrows from each house.
Birds.
Yeah, birds.
That's weird.
They were desperate.
Yeah.
So they agreed.
Yeah.
But Olga ordered her soldiers to tie these little pieces of sulfur-soaked cloth to the birds' feet, light them on fire, and release the birds at night.
No.
Yeah.
The birds were on fire.
Birds on fire.
What happened?
So the birds flew back to their nests.
Oh, no. In the city.
Yeah, in the city.
And they started a fire.
Ignited a massive fire.
Oh, my God.
The Chronicle says every single house caught fire.
Are you serious?
It was chaos. They captured those who tried to flee, killed some, enslaved others.
Oh, my gosh.
Brutal.
So she basically, like, tricked them.
Oh, yeah, she totally outmaneuvered them.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, so she was clearly, like, a brilliant military strategist.
Absolutely.
But I'm guessing there's more to her story than just...
Oh, there's so much more.
Just crazy revenge.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
That was intense.
It was.
So, like, besides all that revenge stuff,
Right.
what else did she do when she was in charge?
Oh, well, being a ruler was way more than just crushing rebellions.
Okay.
She was actually a really good leader.
Yeah?
Made a lot of big changes.
Give me some examples.
So she set up all these trading posts,
Okay.
hunting grounds across the land,
Yeah.
which wasn't just about, like, boosting the economy.
Right.
It was her way of solidifying control over all this territory.
Oh, so she was, like, thinking ahead.
Oh, yeah, she was playing the long game.
Yeah, like setting Kyivan Rus up to be powerful.
Exactly.
Smart.
Yeah, and she also centralized state rule.
So basically, like, organizing the government?
Yeah, like streamlined it.
Okay, made it more efficient.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
less like local power struggles.
That makes sense.
But here's the really interesting part.
Okay.
She brought in the first legal reforms to Eastern Europe.
Legal reforms?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Good question. So back then, the system of paying tribute
Okay.
was like super messy.
Yeah.
And some local lords would take advantage.
Because there weren't any clear rules.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So Olga was like, nope, we need a system.
Okay.
Fixed amounts, specific places to collect it.
Right.
That way more money's going to the state.
Makes sense.
Less corruption.
Yeah.
Things are more fair for people.
So she was like a warrior queen,
Yeah.
a politician, and a legal reformer.
Pretty much. She was amazing.
I know. It's crazy.
But there was one thing she got pushed back on.
What's that?
Religion.
Oh, right. She became Christian.
Exactly.
But she was like a Viking princess or something.
Well, yeah, possibly.
So how did that happen?
So she decided to go to Constantinople.
Where's that?
That was like the heart of the Byzantine Empire.
Wow.
Back in the 950s.
That's a big trip.
It was a huge EE deal.
Yeah, especially for a woman ruler.
Oh, yeah. Totally bold move.
She was like ambitious.
Oh, absolutely. She wasn't content just staying in her own kingdom.
She wanted to see the world.
Exactly.
Learn new things.
And she did.
Yeah.
This trip basically exposed her to all the amazing things about the Byzantine Empire.
Oh, wow.
Including Christianity.
Okay.
Now, the Primary Chronicle says that's when she converted.
In Constantinople.
Yeah, and that she was actually baptized by the emperor himself.
Baptized by the emperor.
Yeah, pretty big deal.
That is a big deal.
So she comes back to Kiev, super devout Christian.
Right.
But it doesn't go super smoothly back home.
What happened?
Well, her son, Sviatoslav, not on board with this whole Christianity thing.
Why not?
He was really into the traditional pagan beliefs.
Okay.
Saw Christianity as like a threat.
Yeah?
To his warrior culture.
So even Olga couldn't convince him?
Not really, not in her lifetime.
But she did plant the seeds.
She did plant the seeds.
For the Christianization of Kyivan Rus.
It's true. Her grandson, Vladimir the Great.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him.
He's the one who made it the official religion.
But Olga, like, paved the way.
And for sure laid the groundwork.
It's amazing how one person can make such a huge difference.
It is incredible.
And we don't even see the impact till later.
Yeah, sometimes it takes generations.
Whoa.
And that's something we're going to get into even more in the next part.
Okay.
Talk about how Olga's image and legacy have been shaped over the centuries.
Oh, that's going to be good.
I know, right? It's fascinating.
This is so much more than just history.
It is.
It's like power,
Yeah.
ambition, faith,
Absolutely.
the legacy of this incredible woman.
I know, she's amazing.
All right, so we've talked about how Olga came to power, all of her like crazy strategic moves,
Oh, yeah.
and even her conversion to Christianity.
All right.
But now I want to get into something you mentioned earlier.
Okay.
Like, how has her image changed over time?
Yeah, it's interesting because she's been seen as like a ruthless warrior, but also like a super pious saint.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big contrast.
Yeah, and I think part of it has to do with like the sources themselves.
What do you mean?
Well, like the Primary Chronicle, it was written like way after Olga died.
Yeah.
And it definitely has like religious and political stuff mixed in.
It's biased.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically. So they make her seem like a really smart ruler, but they also talk about how pious she was and her role in bringing Christianity to Kyivan Rus.
So even the history books we have are like
Oh, yeah.
slanted.
They all have a perspective.
Right.
Okay, so then how was she seen like more recently?
Yeah, like in the last 100 years or so.
Okay, so during the Soviet era, they kind of downplayed her conversion to Christianity.
Interesting.
They focused more on her being like a strong, practical leader. It was like she was this example of a powerful woman in a man's world.
So almost like a feminist icon.
Kinda.
But then things changed again, right?
Yeah, more recently.
Oh.
There's been a lot more interest in like the whole picture of Olga.
All the different sides of her.
Exactly.
Not just a powerful woman.
Right.
But like a complex person.
Yes. She's a warrior, a queen, a diplomat, a mother, a convert to a new faith.
Wow. She really did it all.
It's true.
So how do people see her today then?
I think there's this like growing appreciation for her story.
Yeah.
People are drawn to her ambition, her resilience, the way she broke the mold.
It's inspiring.
It is.
She shows us that history is full of like strong women.
Yes.
Who did amazing things.
Exactly.
It's like that YouTube video title.
Right.
History's most badass saint.
I know.
It's like the perfect way to describe her.
She was ruthless and compassionate.
Yeah.
Cunning and devout.
It's wild.
And her story still matters today because it shows us like how to deal with our own struggles.
With ambition, with faith, with life in general.
Exactly.
It's what makes history so cool.
It is.
It's not just dates and names.
Right.
It's about real people who made choices that changed the world.
And Olga's story shows us that one person can really make a difference.
Totally. Even if we don't see the results for years.
It's true.
Wow. Well, this has been amazing.
It has.
I've learned so much about Olga of Kyiv.
Me too. She's incredible.
Thanks for joining us, everyone, on this deep dive into the life of Olga of Kyiv.
It was a pleasure.
We'll be back next time with another awesome story from history.
Can't wait.
Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep those brains working.
Absolutely.